Tonight on Citrus TV, why one Republican politician is pushing for climate change recognition on college campuses.
And see how North Korea is responding to President Trump's remarks at the United Nations.
It's the first day of fall, but definitely not feeling like it. Blue skies and not a cloud in sight. But will the heat stick around? I'll let you know in my full weather forecast. Your campus news leader, Citrus TV, starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Hi, and welcome back to Citrus TV. It's Hispanic Heritage Month here on campus, and celebrations are underway. Good evening, I'm Josh Rosenblatt.
And I'm Rebekah Castor. Hispanic Heritage Month runs September 15th through October 15th. Citrus TV reporter Sabrina Maggiore spoke to Latino students to find out how they're celebrating.
For members of the it's a time for getting in touch with their family roots.
It's expressing where your parents came from, where all the Latin rule came from.
SU students also told me this is a time for sharing the culture they love.
The Latino culture is like the love of my life, I think.
We love everyone, and we spread that love through things like food, music, so bachata, merengue, salsa.
This year's celebration is a little different. As the first Hispanic Heritage Month since the change in presidential office, some students say that the current political climate gives this month more meaning.
Definitely, I think in our political climate now, it's very tough to be a Latino and to be a person of color in general.
With the things that are going on with DACA, it's definitely very disappointing, especially since I'm one of those people that advocated, even friends of mine, to go and fill out those papers. And honestly, I felt like I was betrayed.
Students say that the uncertain future of DACA, the administration plowing forward with their immigration wall, and the overall rhetoric of the administration is serving as a rallying point for members of the community.
What this means for us is to unite even more and to grow stronger as a community, not only as Latinos, but people of color in general, to show that we are human, we're people, and we deserve the same love and respect that everyone else gets.
The Office of Multicultural Affairs will be hosting its Fiesta Latina this Saturday.
The Newhouse today, thanks Sabrina. Wrapping up and shine today is the Newhouse Communications Career Fair. Students got to meet with recruiters in Panache Lounge this afternoon to explore internship and employment opportunities. Companies such as Oath, Spectrum News, and Advanced New York Media were there. Newhouse will host its Career Day next month. Also on campus this weekend, Beatles legend Paul McCartney. The singer will perform at the Carrier Dome tomorrow, but before he takes the stage, fans are invited to attend McCartney Madness. Starting at 1:30 tomorrow on the Quad, student musical acts like Autotunes and the Marching Band will be performing several of McCartney's hit songs to get everyone pumped for the show.
University College officially has a new dean. Michael Friselio was appointed to the position today. He has been serving as interim dean since January. University College provides classes to part-time students at SU. During his term, Friselio focused on expanding the college's online programs and resources. A former Republican congressman is pushing for climate change actions across the country. Citrus TV reporter Byron Tollefson had the chance to speak with him.
Bob Inglis endorsed fighting climate change back in 2010. He said he wasn't re-elected because of that. Now, he's leading a group to help stop climate change with conservative solutions.
Fighting for action on climate change? Well, there's a new movement campaigning for that, and it came to Syracuse Law School last night. It's called the Republicans, and they're led by former Congressman Bob Inglis.
There are conservatives out here who really believe it's time to act on climate change.
They're on a 10-city, 10-week tour presenting what Inglis calls a conservative solution to climate change based on free enterprise and limited government. He says he lost congressional re-election back in 2010 because of his position on the matter. Now, he's going around the country trying to change Republican policy. Inglis said part of the reason he chose Syracuse as one of the first stops on his tour was because the region needs economic stimulation. His way of doing that is fighting climate change.
And the places we're choosing are strategic in that they're places where we believe there's a chance of the elected Republicans stepping forward to lead.
And he's getting others on board as well. Former New York Congressman Richard Hanna spoke yesterday at the panel and says the issue is just about common sense.
It's not fair to deny a problem and ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. What is fair is to sit down and talk about it openly and honestly, look at the science.
6 of 28 Republicans who are on a House committee toward fighting climate change are from New York. That's the most of any state and includes Congresswoman Claudia Tenney.
We believe there's a chance of the elected Republicans stepping forward to lead.
Inglis hopes the movement reaches 10,000 members by the end of the year. He's headed to Miami, Florida next on the 10-city tour.
Thanks, Byron. Some politicians are taking a break from politics to lend a helping hand. Governor Andrew Cuomo is in Puerto Rico today, helping with recovery efforts following Hurricane Maria. Thousands of people are evacuating in the northwest of Puerto Rico after officials expressed concern of a possible dam failure. Most of the area is under flash flood warning. Cuomo says he is deploying the New York National Guard to the island and sending engineers to help rebuild Puerto Rico's power grid. Most of the country is still without power.
It's officially fall right now, but right now it feels a lot more like summer.
David Edelstein is here to tell us how long this heat wave will last.
Outside. Thanks, guys. I'm outside the studio right now, and let's take a look at this video taken earlier today on campus. Just a beautiful day, almost summer-like, but as of this afternoon, we're welcoming in autumn. Fall 2017 is here as of 4:02 p.m. But right now outside at Syracuse, 75 degrees. It does feel like summer. There is a slight breeze outside, so that's making it feel pretty pleasant. Across the region, 75 in Syracuse. Rome is the high at 78. Ithaca low at 71. And as we look at our radar across the region, just sunny everywhere. Now, will these high temperatures stick around or will fall be coming soon? I'll let you know back in studio. Back to you guys.
After the break, North Korea responds to President Trump's UN address.
And Hurricane Maria continues to cause destruction across the Caribbean. Citrus TV News will be right back.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
President Trump is throwing his support behind an establishment candidate in Alabama's Senate election. Trump is in Alabama tonight headlining a rally for Luther Strange. The senator filled the Alabama Senate seat left open by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Now Strange has to run in the primary next week to keep his position. but several Republicans have endorsed his opponent, Roy Moore. Strange is a former lobbyist and considered a Washington insider, but Trump says he has been a loyal supporter. Back in D.C., Education Secretary Betsy DeVos is formally removing Obama-era guidelines on college campus sexual assault. Interim guidelines will be in place until a replacement is made. DeVos says the current rules were unfairly skewed against students accused of assault. New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand called the decision shameful. Elsewhere on Capitol Hill, Senator John McCain is once again making headlines for defying GOP legislation. The Republican senator announced today that he cannot, in good conscience, vote in favor of the latest plan to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. Without McCain, it will be nearly impossible for Republicans to pass a replacement health care proposal by the September 30th deadline. Two other prominent senators, Rand Paul and Susan Collins, are also expected to vote no.
North Korea may test a hydrogen bomb in response to President Trump's threats of military action at the UN. On Tuesday, the president said he will totally destroy North Korea if it threatened the U.S. or its allies. In a video statement, North Korea leader Kim Jong-un said the president will pay dearly for his comments. Now, North Korea's foreign minister says the country is considering testing a hydrogen bomb. If they do, it could be the strongest bomb ever set off over the Pacific Ocean. Other countries are also ramping up their military presence. Iran revealed a new ballistic missile today during a military parade. The new warhead can strike Saudi Arabia and Israel. The move is seen as a display of strength. Iran's president says that the country will continue to expand its military defenses. However, he says Iran remains fully committed to the United States nuclear deal. Moving to the Caribbean, Hurricane Maria is set to hit the island of Turks and Caicos this weekend after devastating Puerto Rico and Dominica. The storm has killed at least 38 people. Evacuations are underway in Puerto Rico amid possible dam failure due to storm damage, and in Dominica, entire villages are flattened. The country's prime minister says the destruction left behind is heart-wrenching.
I walked from my residence into the city, looking at the devastation, meeting people. I mean, everybody who I met, the homes were destroyed, completely washed away. You know, there's a lot of human suffering and people not knowing what tomorrow will bring.
As Dominica and Puerto Rico begin recovery efforts, Maria has been downgraded to a Category 3 storm. Turks and Caicos should still expect heavy downpour and possible storm surges.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Here at home, it's the first day of fall, but it certainly doesn't feel like it.
That's right, we're experiencing unprecedented hot weather this September. David, when is fall coming?
Yeah, that's right, Rebekah. Definitely weird that it is so hot now in September, and that is the definite answer for this story, is that it is going to be hot. Right now, we were looking a few minutes ago at our weather radar, just sunny out, and that's how it's going to be over the next few days. Tomorrow, when you wake up, 62 degrees. If you wake up a little bit before 9 a.m., it is going to be in the 50s. Some fog moving in, but warming quickly. Story across the nation right now is just a heat wave, especially on the East Coast, high 80s in this area. In looking at our more local look at the Syracuse and New York, Central New York area, tomorrow it's going to be in those high 80s. And the high is going to be 84 degrees, low of 61. Just the sun is going to be pounding the ground. Throughout the day, 62 degrees, 82 as we get to 3 p.m. And if you're going to the concert tomorrow in the Dome at 8 p.m. at the start, 72. But inside definitely will be a lot warmer. We're getting near the records. And talking about records in our degrees here, 1936, 2010, all these records are on their way to probably being broken this coming week. As we go through, we see in the orange what the temperatures are going to be predicted for this coming week, and the red is what the records have been set at in the past. Even looking here on Tuesday, 88, that's the prediction, is going to tie the record, possibly even getting warmer. Now, as we take a look forward at our graph, throughout the days, it is going to be hot out, but going forward throughout the rest of the days towards the end of September, as fall does fully move in, just getting warmer, but then falling off into the 60s. As we take a look at that again over here, just in through motion, it goes staying in the high 80s and then drops off. As you can see, that's where it is now. And taking a look at our 5-day forecast, concert tomorrow, 84 degrees, and just in the high 80s every single day. Until then, it is a lot of heat, and a lot to prepare for as far as fall is coming soon.
So David, I'm definitely ready for fall. So once we get those fall temperatures come back, are we going to have any more of these heat waves?
I don't expect any more heat waves. We'll probably be flying around 72 degrees, but it is going to fall off into those 60s, high 70s, and just continue to taper off from there. This week, definitely take it in. Last week of full-on summer.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah, and the Paul McCartney concert tomorrow in the Dome. What should I wear for that? What should I be expecting?
Definitely wear t-shirt and shorts. I mean, you might want to get dressed up formal for a concert, but it's just going to be hot. And in a dome, there's no air conditioning in there. It's just going to be hot. Drink a lot of water and stay hydrated because this sun is going to really take the water out of you.
That's good advice, David. After the break, why a popular transportation app isn't doing so well across the pond.
One of the nation's largest pharmacies is cracking down on prescriptions. What changes they're making after the break.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Millions of Uber users in London will have to find another way to get around. The City Transport Authority decided not to review Uber's license because of public safety threats. Officials say the company has failed to report criminal offenses by drivers, and its software prevents law enforcement from monitoring the app. Uber said they will appeal the decision. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says the company will turn over thousands of Russia-linked ads to Congress. Facebook has already given the ads issued by Russian accounts to special counsel Robert Mueller. He is handling the investigation into Russia's involvement in the 2016 election. Zuckerberg hopes that by providing the apps, Congress will be better equipped to prevent meddling in future elections. He said Facebook will also change how it handles political advertising. While food delivery is by no means new, Walmart is looking to take a few extra steps. Walmart is partnering with August Home, a security service, to launch a service where a delivery person would go inside your house and put your food in the fridge, even when you're not home. Workers would enter homes with a one-time security code, and users can watch the whole delivery through the August Home app. The service is currently being tested.
While many airlines have stopped flights to Puerto Rico, American Airlines hasn't given up yet. Starting today, the airline will provide 5 round trips every day to Puerto Rico, departing from Miami and Philadelphia. The planes will also deliver supplies for recovery efforts. Other major airlines such as Southwest and United have canceled flights to Puerto Rico for the time being. In response to a growing national crisis, CVS announced it will limit opioid prescriptions. The pharmacy says it will restrict how many opioid patients can get and how strong the doses can be. CVS will cap daily dosages and ask doctors to limit prescriptions to 7 days. The pharmacy giant hopes this move will help fight the rise of overdoses in the U.S. And unless you really do have a death wish, it might be safer to stay away from this coffee. Death Wish Coffee is recalling its 11-ounce nitro cold brew cans. The company says its manufacturing process could cause a deadly toxin to grow in the can. Customers can return the cans for a full refund, and no illnesses have been reported as a result of drinking the coffee.
Syracuse football faces a tough road test, while women's soccer was in action and the men's team is set to play tonight. Stick around for that and more after the break.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Coming off a 41-17 rout of Central Michigan, Syracuse will take its talents to Cajun country to take on 25th-ranked LSU. The Tigers were embarrassed 37-7 playing last week at Mississippi State. With the ugly loss behind them, the Tigers will return home where they've been literally unbeatable. In fact, the last time they lost a non-conference home game, Britney Spears was topping the charts with Oops, I Did It Again in 2000. Despite the Tigers' success at home, SU quarterback Eric Dungy is just trying to treat tomorrow's tilt like just another game.
I mean, it's going to be loud, but, like I said, you can't let the moment get the best of you. You kind of just got to focus in. At the end of the day, it's still a football field, 100 yards. Yeah, it's going to be loud, but, you just got to really be focused in on the guys at hand, and you just really be communicating with each other.
It's football. You always have a chance. 48 games that they haven't lost to a non-conference opponent. They're a good football team. They're different than us. Their home field advantage is real. That's a real home field advantage.
Be sure to tune in to OTN after the game for Orange Press Pass highlights and analysis, along with reactions from Coach Babers and the players. Back on the Hill, the SU women's soccer team squared off against Wake Forest in its ACC opener. Let's take a look at how the Orange fared in a bout with a tough conference foe. In the 26th minute, Mia Rossi rips one wide left and Courtney Brosnan there to stop it. She'd finish with 9 saves on the day. But this one, 4 minutes later, she wouldn't be able to get to. Hannah Betfort knocks home her 4th goal of the season to give Wake Forest the 1-0 lead. On to the second half, Syracuse would have its chances. Shannon Aviza just off the crossbar, and that's got a sting. That really would symbolize how SU's offense went in this one. Just a lot of chances in front of the goal, but nothing to show for it. Wake Forest takes this one 1-0. And over on the men's side, Ian McIntyre's squad will look for redemption against Duke. The SU men's team is coming off back-to-back losses to Louisville and Cornell. Keep in mind, at this time last year, Syracuse had not yet lost a game. Getting shots on target has been a big problem for the Orange lately. The team has just 5 strikes on goal over its last 2 games. Meanwhile, Duke is coming off a 4-3 win over Wisconsin in Durham. And the Blue Devils have been clicking on offense this month, notching at least a trio of goals 3 times in 5 contests. SU's soccer struggles this year have not carried over to the volleyball team. After taking down Boston College in a 3-set thriller last Wednesday, the Orange will look to keep things rolling tonight against Pitt. Syracuse is currently riding a season-best 3-match win streak, and led by juniors Anastasia Gorelina and Santita Abangwase, the team has shown no sign of slowing down. The SU women's tennis team kicks off its fall slate with a couple of invitational tournaments. Top sophomore Miranda Ramirez is set to compete at the Milwaukee Tennis Classic, while the rest of the ladies head south for the West Point Invitational. This year's team is not too different from last year's squad. The Orange is returning 7 players, including Ramirez and number 2, Gabriella Knutson. In MLB action, the Yankees open up a 3-game set north of the border against the Blue Jays. The Bombers have won 7 of their last 8 games, and hey Boston, don't look now, but the Yanks sit just 3 games back of the Red Sox for first place in the division. Back in New York, the Mets take on the first-place Nationals tonight at Citi Field. The Amazons will roll out Rob Gazelman, who pitched 7 shutout innings against the Braves his last time out.
Now, Noah, I know there's a lot of tennis action going on this weekend. There's the Lever Cup. There's a lot of rumors Federer and Nadal were going to play doubles together. Do you ever see that happening?
Well, Bjorn Borg, the coach of the European team, just hates everybody apparently, and he paired Rafa with Thomas Berdych, a very talented Czech player. But Roger and Rafa have expressed an interest in playing together, and I'm sure tennis fans everywhere would love to see that happen.
So for the football game this weekend, any chance we're going to get the win over LSU?
Well, if you asked me that a few days ago, I would have said maybe. Darius Geis was out with an undisclosed injury, but he was recently just cleared, and I mean, he's one of the top running threats in the nation. I just don't see it happening with the Orange this week.
That's too bad.
No, I'm a pretty big Yankees fan myself. Any chance we catch the Sox in the AL East?
It's tough to say. As a fan of the other New York team, I want to say no, but this is the Yankees. This team is very talented. Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez in the middle of that lineup have just been amazing. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Yanks catch them, or at least get a wild card spot.
Awesome. Thanks, Noah.
Citrus TV will be right back.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even brought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
We have David Edelstein back here with us. So David, what kind of weather can we expect tomorrow morning?
You know, even though it's going to be really hot this week, Rebekah, in the morning and in the evenings, it's still going to be pretty cool. So expect kind of high 50s, turning into those low 60s in the morning. It's going to heat up quickly, though.
Any chance I can break out the scarf this week? I mean, when are we going to get this fall weather?
I mean, I would be very surprised if you did, but again, in the morning, that's when you might want to bring just a sweatshirt with you to carry around. But next week is really where you might want to start breaking out the long pants and long sleeves.
Thanks, David. Coming up on OTN, your full sports report on Q's Countdown and your late night entertainment with Syracuse Unpeeled.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at CitrusTV.
And find details for these stories and more on CitrusTV.com. For Citrus TV, I'm Josh Rosenblatt.
And I'm Rebekah Castor. Have a great night, Syracuse.